Law number 2 of 2024, removal of unlawful occupants from dwellings.
We don't have any outside.
No one signed up. Does anybody in the audience like to speak?
Yeah, we should be good. I'll make a motion to close public.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye. Oh, sorry.
Carried. Welcome all to the July 2nd Wilton Town Board meeting. We want to start with a pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Supervisor Lant?
Here.
Deputy Supervisor McCaffrey?
Here.
Councilman Bogartis?
Present.
Councilwoman Colligan? Here. Councilman O'Connor? Here.
Thank you. We have Mr. Greg Connors here. He's in charge of SCDCs of the county. He wants to talk to us about a grant. This deals with the bridge and get some water and sewer in on Ballard Road to get some businesses there. And I want to thank you, Greg, for a great job you've done for the county. You're up, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As the supervisor mentioned, my name is Greg Connors. I'm the president of Saratoga Economic Development Corporation, commonly known as SEDC. As you know, SEDC is responsible for promoting, encouraging, and developing economic opportunity throughout Saratoga County. And in addition to promoting capital investment as well as the creation and retention of permanent full-time jobs, we are also tasked with improving the marketability of both vacant land sites and buildings and promoting development consistent with existing planning, zoning rules and regulations. I appreciate the invitation and the opportunity to address the town board briefly this evening to speak about an economic development opportunity that may be available to the town that will require both your support and the support of the Empire State Development Corporation. First, some context. At the beginning of this year, Supervisor Lant reached out to me for the purpose of discussing economic opportunity and encouraging new capital investment in the town of Wilton and how SEDC might be able to support his initiative. We discussed at the time the condition of Mount McGregor Road as well as the Northway Exit 16 corridor, and I engaged Empire State Development on both issues. As you are aware, and with the personal effort of Assemblywoman Warner, funding in the state budget has been secured for the town of Wilton to begin the roadway improvement process on Mount McGregor Road. As you are also aware, certain portions of Ballard Road in the area of Northway Exit 16 are not improved by municipal infrastructure, specifically public water and sewer. To the development opportunity. A particular area of Ballard Road east of Northway Exit 16 to Commerce Park and Commerce Park Drive past a number of large unimproved land parcels currently zoned commercial C3. The vacant land parcels have been marketed for sale in some form or fashion for some time, and I'm reliably informed that several options to purchase all or a significant portion of these parcels currently exists with no recent forward motion to transfer title. Also in some time, in part because of the lack of public water and sewer. My task, and I hope you will all agree, is to improve the marketability of land parcels both east and west of Exit 16 with the installation of public water and sewer, thereby creating new capital investment opportunity in an area already zoned for commercial C3 development. The project area, as I define it, is beginning at the Traver Road, Ballard Road intersection east approximately 1 mile to Commerce Park Drive. In support of our collaborative effort, Empire State Development has a FAST New York Infrastructure Capital Grant Program. The program is designed to improve the shovel readiness of existing mature sites by funding infrastructure improvements such as water and sewer, but also transportation, electricity, gas, and other capital eligible site improvement costs. As a result of the investment of grant funds in cooperation with the local municipality, these infrastructure improvements will increase the land site's attractiveness to large employers, including high-tech manufacturing, interstate distribution, and logistics businesses, to name just a few. These are competitive grants and available to sites that have already met the requirements of Fast New York Track C funding. Eligible applicants are limited to municipalities or municipally designated nonprofit economic development organizations acting on behalf of the municipality in which the site or sites are located. Like most government-sponsored grants, this is a reimbursement program. Grant funds are reimbursed based on the submission of paid invoices. In addition to the infrastructure costs themselves, grant reimbursement may also include engineering, legal, and administrative fees that will be further defined in the grant disbursement agreement should we be awarded. Consulting with the supervisor, with your director of planning and engineering, as well as private property owners, I've already submitted to ESD the required intent to apply for grant funding, describing the intent and scope of our project, and have been granted by ESD authorization after review of the concept, authority to submit the application for Track C grant funding as soon as possible on behalf of the town of Wilton. An interesting nuance to this effort is that, as you are also aware, the State Department of Transportation is planning and has scheduled a complete rebuild of Exit 16 beginning in 2026, with an overall project cost estimated today at up to $25 million. While only my personal opinion, I think that capital transportation project, together with our proposed infrastructure project, will help our scoring when Empire State Development considers our filed application. In addition to town board support, one of the several requirements of the application is the submission of a map, plan, and report for the project area that provides proposed design and reliable cost estimates. I would ask that the town board respectfully authorize the town engineer or his designee to prepare the required map, plan, and report as soon as practical, as well as authorizing the town supervisor to designate SEDC as the authorized municipally designated economic development organization to prepare and submit the grant application. My hope is that with the prompt submission of the completed Track C application and review by ESD's strategic business development personnel, we would receive a decision on the award later this year. Thank you for your attention, your patience, and your anticipated cooperation. And being respectful of your agenda and my time allocated for this presentation, I'm happy to answer any questions the board may have.
Is there any way to speed up that 2026 deadline?
Well, I don't have that kind of...
Supposed to have been done a couple of years ago, but you know, the state...
Actually, they've been working on the project for
It's tough.
2023, I think.
Yeah.
With design and engineering, and of course, funding is always a major part of
That's the main
any
thing.
project.
That's the main thing.
Right.
But to have a project approved, one that would be as significant as a rebuild of Exit 16, we're in a great spot right now to accomplish this infrastructure project that is going to improve economic investment opportunity for Wilton, plus get Exit 16 redeveloped.
So in order to do this, we have to cross the Northway with all the utilities.
Yes, all the way to Commerce Park Drive.
Correct.
They're there.
So if
They're
we-
there at Frank Provost.
Yeah, but if we were to say we're going to move up our timetable before 2026, do you think we can get the state to kind of move along with us and do it all in one project?
Getting the state to
We might
move
need it
along,
done our work done
is
before the
probably
bridge.
a challenge bigger than us, but, you know, the fact that we have a qualified grant application that's going to improve the opportunity for capital investment in the town.
Right.
Considering that the intended use is permitted by commercial C3 is exactly what this grant program was designed to support. You never can tell.
Well, let's hope we can get it moving forward quicker. I believe in Santa Claus, so let's hope so.
18 months,
But you would
that's
think, Greg, in
not that far.
greatest likelihood that water and sewer and the traffic improvements would probably be done concurrently, in all likelihood?
Well, that would make sense to me. I mean, I would, and I have had a casual discussion, as I mentioned in my remarks with ESD, and I told them about the DOT project in an effort to try to get them to approve, you know, the authorization to submit the application.
We've reached out to Dan Rourke of the county and Mike Looney, they're both on board, so that's a plus too.
I think, my personal opinion is you probably don't want to dig up the road twice.
Exactly.
I mean, it would be a source of great frustration and anxiety for the residents and visitors.
Expense too.
So I would suspect, although I certainly can't guarantee it, but I would suspect if our grant award is approved, it would probably be approved in conjunction with the DOT project.
So you're feeling too?
Yes, I mean, the bridge, that's ways out, I think, still, but, I mean, getting the water and sewer across is definitely helpful. The likelihood of using the bridge, the Dollar Grove corridor cross, that's the widest DOT crossing. I don't want to get into the weeds of the engineering of it, but it costs a lot more. They would probably cross just south of the ramps,
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gotta go
where
under.
it's
I think
shorter
we're
distance to cross.
Under?
Yeah, full
Okay.
threshold.
Yeah, you have to go under.
Yeah.
And they would connect to E Road and then just up E Road.
Now, with the bridge construction, are they going to look to put a bridge next to it and tear down, or going to try to?
No idea. That's a difficult one, that's why they've, in my discussions, is why they haven't touched this one yet. They've touched every other bridge on the Northway.
Yeah, yeah.
This one is complicated.
The bypass.
You have E Road, Kern Springs.
We just gotta get that truck driver that keeps hitting that one at
You got
exit.
2 gas stations.
Yeah,
I mean, if they
Lot of
built one new
obstacles.
bridge next to the old bridge, we could probably reduce the impact.
But where do you run the road?
When I see Hopewell, I'll have
She won't even know what you're talking about.
well, I think we would almost demand that.
Right, right.
And engineering.
That'll be on.
Absolutely demand that part. So I know
I
exit
think they have to now.
Right.
Exit 15, they have it,
Crosswalks
exit 17, they have it, so I would imagine,
Yeah, it's part of the requirements, and that's why we, the town, can work on making sure there's trail connections adjacent to this area. Therefore, it shows that there's a desire to cross the bridge, instead of crossing. So, it's just helps when you have the trails and pathways near the bridge, it helps support it. But they do have to.
Anybody got any more questions? for
Oh, I thank you.
Mr. Connors?
Appreciate everything.
thank you, sir.
So, unless we have to have a public hearing for it, I'll make a motion to authorize SEDC to be the designated applicant on behalf of the town for the Fast New York grant.
Thank you.
I will second that. Sorry. Are we
So
adding
this
something?
is twofold, and additionally, EDP would be doing the engineering design work.
Map plan report. For a fee of
15,000?
Yeah.
You want to take the, well, what if we take Ms. Tudor from motions?
Yes,
So,
please.
All right.
Well, we can use HARPA for that?
We could,
Grant money.
yes, we could. But I have another plan. We could talk about it later.
We'll discuss it.
Okay.
All right, so I'll reiterate my motion to approve SEDC as the designee
Okay.
for the Fast New York grant.
And I seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Portion of it? Okay.
And then the money portion's gonna be a second motion.
As part of your deliberation and decision-making process is 2026 sounds like a long time away, but the grant process itself, the processing, and now with the hoped-for map plan and report to be designed, to be completed, we want to try and put that on the fast track. That's, and I know that Ryan works closely with his designees in that regard, but My hope is that we get some kind of an answer and an award by the end of this year. And in order to do that, we've got to move along the process in order to do that. Because the next award won't be until the summer of next year. And that might bump up against the 2026 rebuild of 16. So I think it's in our best interest to be able to move it along. And Mr. Supervisor, if I may, I'd like the record to reflect my thanks and appreciation to the town clerk and to the controller and to the town engineer. They've been great so far in terms of helping me along with the
We're very lucky to have the three of them. The residents are, believe me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I am available if any member of the town board or staff has any questions. You can get a hold of me at any time. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming, Greg.
Hey, thank you as well, Greg, for the work that SEDC does. I think we've got.
I'm sorry?
Thank you for the work that SEDC does. I think we have the lowest unemployment rate in the state, one of the lowest, if not the lowest, tax county in the state.
Well,
a lot of that has to do with our economic strength.
Yes, we do. The best place to live in the state's Wilton County.
Aaron, this
Did you get both of those motions done?
Perfect. Parking spot, yeah.
Let me know if that works.
Yes, I'll let you know. I'll let you know. I won't be there on Tuesday, but I'll let you know.
Take a flyer there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm not. So we need to make a motion to approve the EDP. Is that it?
Yep.
Okay. I'll make that
Second,
motion.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried.
Thank you.
All right. I cannot see
Yeah, your microphone is crazy.
Anybody signed up to speak, public comment?
I don't have anyone.
Everybody get a chance to read the June minutes? You got any questions? If not, somebody want to make a motion to approve them?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Margot, you're up, Wilton Wildlife.
Again? No, I'm just kidding.
Again. Thank you, Greg. Have a safe trip home.
Thank you.
Thanks, Greg.
So I have a very lovely presentation, but my computer is not turning on.
Yeah, I said the same thing.
So I'm going to have to wing it. So since I have a lovely presentation, when it turns on, I will get you a copy of it. It is a little different from the report. So I know you all have a copy of the report that is for the second quarter. We like to break up our report. Should I give the mic? So that, again, for people who aren't familiar with Wilton Wildlife Preserve and Park, our mission is 3 areas. We focus on environmental education, outdoor recreation, and supporting the conservation efforts of the landowners. So that's how we always break down this report, is kind of going into those so you can see everything that we have accomplished in terms of all of our environmental programs, all the activities that we're doing for the public, for schools, for the community. And as you can see in that graph there, we worked with directly about 5,000 people in the second quarter. So that was up about 25% over the same time period last year. So when I was writing the list of all of the schools and all the programs that we did, I had to keep making the font a little smaller and the margins a little stretched in order to fit everything in compared to last year's second quarter report. So we feel really good about it. We feel really good about the work that we're doing over there with the environmental education and all of the public programming. Then on the back side, we talk about the grants and the fundraising. And so I think you're all aware we get a grant from the New York State ZBGA program that helps with general operating support. That, along with the grant that we get, the operating grant from the town of Wilton, is really instrumental in us being able to board the staff that does all of those programs that are, listed here. So we really are appreciative both to the town for their operating support, and then again, this operating support that we get from the state for that. So we just found out through this grant program in New York State that we have an opportunity to apply for another capital grant. So we have the $188,000 grant we got through the Parks program through the CFA last year. but we're also going to be putting in, it's due at the end of August, there's another capital program grant that's available to us as one of the grantees of that project. So I've already met with Ray and we talked about it, and so we'll be putting in for some expenses, some capital expenses for the Larry Gordon Outdoor Education Center project that weren't in the first grant that we got, otherwise it would be double dipping. So, but there's things that as the committee's been working, we've developed some new ideas, some new things that weren't in the first grant, so we'll be able to put those into this. So we'll hopefully be able to bring in some funds with that. And we just sent out, you know, in addition to the Larry Gordon Outdoor Education Center, which is a capital project, we still have our operating costs, and so we have to do our own fundraising so that we can cover all the other costs that it costs to run our organization. And so Wild About Blue is our big fundraiser, and hopefully many of you received your first call for being a donor, but we would love to have you.
Oh, that's what that was? I threw in the garbage, I'm sorry.
I know many of you are wonderful supporters, and we appreciate your support. So that's going very well, and that event, again, will be at the Wishing Well, and it's very important for that support for just our general operating. And this is hot off the press, literally this afternoon. We submitted a proposal to the Price Chopper Golub Foundation for the Larry Gordon Outdoor Education Center, and I just heard this afternoon they're going to give us $25,000 over 4 years to support it, but that's okay.
That's great.
Okay, it's great, it's great.
Still spends the same.
Yeah, so we're excited about that. So again, in terms of that fiscal responsibility and being able to keep things going, you know, we're working very diligently to try to keep all that moving ahead. So just a little update, I guess, on the Larry Gordon Outdoor Education Center. As I mentioned, we have this grant opportunity. We just got this other funding. The back row there is part of the Larry Gordon Outdoor Education Center Steering Committee that has been meeting diligently. We just got some new site plans that I would have shown you from the LA group for both the north and south side. I sent them to Ryan, so we'll have a chance to go over and see if there's any changes or things that we need to move ahead with the site planning. I dropped off materials at State Parks for the grant to get the contract going, so things are moving along, even if sometimes it feels like it's slow, but it's moving along. So,
Correct me if I'm wrong, Margot, but the LA group did that design work pro bono?
yes,
Correct?
yes. So in addition to the town, who is contributing, you know, very graciously, the town workers like Scott and Roy, who are working on the building and doing that work pro bono for the project. We also have the LA group who is contributing their services, and then DA Collins is also agreed to provide materials for the project. So the stone dust for the paths, some paving materials for the accessible parking lots that are going to be paved to improve the accessibility there. So yes, so we're really grateful also, not just the money donations, but the in-kind as well. So yes, thank you for that clarification, appreciate it. So I think that for the most part covers, we have a big summer ahead, lots of things scheduled for the summer. When I'll send you the report and you can see all the exciting groups and things that'll be coming, and all the cute pictures of kids and families and people enjoying that facility, the wonderful facility at Camp Saratoga. So.
Thank you.
I know my grandkids enjoy it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. And is it your daughter that joined the rec commission?
She's my son's wife.
Okay.
Makes it your daughter.
Is that what I make it?
Yeah, that's your daughter.
I'm horrible at that tree thing. I fell out early in life.
That's your daughter. That's your daughter.
But we're having conversations with the rec commission about ways that the rec commission we can collaborate and provide more opportunities for things at Camp Saratoga that will enhance both the Larry Gordon Outdoor Education Center and what the rec commission is trying to provide for the town. So it's been really wonderful working with Mark Daly and the other people on the rec commission. They're a great group.
Margot, thank you for coming and speaking. Let us know what's going on, and thanks for the great job you do there.
I'm sorry that the computer failed me today.
Thank you, Mark.
John's not gonna be able to stay
I'm
much
having
longer.
trouble with service on my phone.
We'll see you next month, probably, again. Seems like
I'm
it.
having trouble with service on my phone, too.
Did we miss the first one, public comment, or no?
Yeah, we didn't have nobody.
Nobody went.
No, we didn't have any.
Do you want to comment?
Proposed local law number 2 of 2024, removal of unlawful occupants from dwellings. You know, we have to do something to protect our residents, and I don't agree with our attorney, what he said. We had 5 attorneys who wrote this, and one was a Supreme Court judge, but at least this is a start. We gotta change it in 3 months or 6 months, we can, but I think we have to do something to protect our residents of this town from the happening here. I mean, it's happening in Saratoga, it's happening everywhere. I just see I got an email from somebody in California, cost her $400,000 in weeks and weeks to get rid of unlawful people, and then all she ended up with a big bloody mess she found in the house, and I don't want that to happen here in Wilton. I'd like to see somebody make a motion.
I'll make that motion. Adopt it. We, like you said, we could change it later.
Yeah, I agree, we need to do something. I've been a party to a situation
You've seen it.
where people were occupying an apartment, and unfortunately, the leasee left, but these people moved in at the same time, and the apartment complex could not evict them because they were there. So we need to do something someplace, start someplace.
You gotta start.
And we can always adjust it as we go along.
Is that a second?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. 7 Sorrow Lane, Deputy Supervisor McCacken, I'll let you speak.
So, I've been down that road about 5 times since the beginning of the last meeting. There's a caravan that needs to be removed from the driveway. I can't bring a dumpster in. Actually, I purchased a dump trailer to do that job, and I've gone down there. The last time I went down was yesterday, just to see if it had been moved. It's not been moved. I can't put a dumpster in there without it sticking out into the roadway. So unfortunately, they're not willing to move the simple vehicle out of the way to allow the help that I tried to give, so. And we still have 30 more days. If I get wind that the van has been moved, I just, you know, I drove down 5 times, and I got better things to do than...
Was anything else taken care of?
Nothing's been done, but I can't bring... Well, I'm sorry.
A lot has been done.
Well-
We had a gentleman come there and remove
I was there yesterday. There's not much.
All right, well, I went down a week, 2 days after.
Working on the van, getting the stuff out of it so that someone will come and take it.
I can't bring a dumpster in, ma'am, until it's gonna stick out into the road.
Yeah, I understand that.
All right.
So I'm working on
about getting the car out of there.
Hopefully within the next couple of days.
Well, I will give you my phone number,
Okay.
and you call me as soon as the van's out of the way, but it's tick-tock, tick-tock, because there's 30 days left. If the van's out of the way, I'll bring the dump trailer in and, you know, just get it done. I'll even bring my equipment over there and load it for you. I'm willing to do whatever it takes, but in the last 30 days, the only thing I requested that 30 days ago was to have that van removed. They would pay you to do it. Somebody, you make a phone call, they'll come and take it for free. So,
They won't take it, stuff, I have to remove it and stuff, so.
okay,
I've been working on doing that, so.
that's all I've got.
But with all due respect, how does it take 30 days to empty the contents out of a vehicle?
Oh, I've been doing other things besides that.
Right, but that should be like priority number 1, because you can't get anything else done, and the dumpster can't come in to get to the point where you need to be, and now you only have
If I
30
had
days left to do it.
If I had ordered a dumpster, I would have been out $900. Because that's what they wanted, $900, and then I found out it was, you know, when I offered it, it was $900, and then they wanted per day after 5 days. So I decided to go out and purchase a 16-foot, 14,000-pound dump trailer to do that, because I could also use it for what I need it for, but it was mainly purchased to complete that job that I agreed to do, and I don't go back on my word, so, but the van has to be out of there. I can't put it over there.
I'm working on it.
All right.
I actually spoke with the building inspector, code enforcement yesterday about this issue. This has been ongoing for 10-plus years. He's been asking you to clean your property up for 10-plus years now. This is not a 30-day thing. The wheels are still moving forward, but we are going to be going out to bid for someone to come in and clean up that property. We've been asking you for 10 years, 10 years, we've been asking you to do this.
I'm working on it.
I know you're working on it, but it's been, I don't mean to be a mean person.
But
I'm a
the
really laid back.
deadline's, the deadline's coming.
It's been 10 years.
No, this would have
We've been asking you
been,
to clean up this property.
ma'am, this was free of charge.
Yeah, no, I was gonna have to come to it.
I drove,
No, what I offered, I'm sorry, but what I had offered was free of charge. Everything could have went in there. I'll come over there with a skid steer and load it myself. I don't have an issue with that. But the one thing that I asked you for 30 days ago was to have the van moved, and I went over there 5 times. I went over again yesterday. I had to pick up my doctor, which was next door, so I pulled in with his car. Everything was in the same exact, it looked identical yesterday as it did the first time I went. So I'm not sure what I'm not sure what's getting done there, and I don't want to say you're not doing anything, but...
Look, I had
I stopped in yesterday. I noticed some stuff was moved from the right to the left.
Yeah, but that's not what they want. They want it removed.
Correct. Nothing is leaving the property.
You know, it's... Okay.
Right. Nothing's leaving the property.
Did you get the receipts this time from the dump? It would help you to get a receipt every time you take stuff to the dump.
So you took stuff to
Show
the
us
dump.
how many trips you've made and the weight of it and how much debris.
I don't know.
Yeah, you gotta keep your receipts to show you're doing progress. I mean, again, we're not trying to be mean, but we have to look out for the neighbors, your neighbors and our community.
get tired of being stopped by Mr. President too. I'm there working, particularly tired of every single day. They're stalking me, and the other ones on the other side that got the new home from the county. I was there one night working, he's sitting out there with a flashlight on me, and telling me he was gonna turn me in for, putting garbage on other people's property. There's no garbage on anybody's property, I didn't want anybody's property.
Tell them to go ahead, that we're, tell them to go ahead, tell them the town's already dealing with it, and he can make his complaints.
Tell them you're looking for a set of hands to help.
He threatened me, he was gonna do something like that.
We're all set?
Yeah, call the sheriff for that.
That's my phone number. The van's out of the way, but I can tell you right now, the time's expiring with me too. I have other obligations as well, so hopefully you can get it out of there ASAP.
We have the chairman of Wilton Rec Commission here to speak, Chris, about the zip line, and thank you for a great job you're doing over there, buddy.
All right, so my name is Chris Iwinski. I'm the president of Friends of Wilton Rec. You know, going through COVID, it was tough to, do fundraising, and things were certainly a little bit on cruise control. So the group's gotten back together in a very strong fashion over the past year and a half or so. Some new leadership involved. Joe Bartol is still, he's still playing the puppeteer. He's still playing the puppeteer.
Joe is Joe.
Yeah, exactly. So, we've been putting our minds together the past 8 or 12 months about a new big project to do. I mean, of course, we do a lot over, with our main focus always being at Gavin. And a lot of us got together, and a zip line came up. Zip lines are becoming very, very popular at many local playgrounds, not only, in Saratoga, but also school playgrounds down in Charlton Heights in the Vertical School District. Over on the west side of Saratoga, they've got a beautiful zip line. And I'd like to preface that, a zip line isn't from a tree down, over to another tree. We're talking a very child-friendly.
Not 20 feet high.
Unfortunately not.
I'm not going.
We don't want
No
that.
harnesses.
Higher the better.
Yeah, exactly. Well, phase one right here. So yeah, what we're looking at is about a 34-foot zip line. That's the most common zip line to go. You can go longer, you can go shorter. But talking with landscape structures, that hey, this is usually the one that's a slam dunk for your municipalities for insurance purposes, things like that. The plan that the town has, the informal plan, the informal request for a blessing on this is a single zip line. This is a zip line that would allow the children to go both ways on it, essentially. With Gavin and all of the adaptive features that we have over there, the adaptive walkways, we would love, of course, to have a second zip line, or at least position ourselves to get a second adaptive zip line to help fall in place with everything over at Gavin Park. We are certainly open to different locations at the park. The two locations that came up in our group are behind the swing sets. So it'd be behind, between the swing set and that back fence, the beer pong table. The ping pong table. Or between the pavilion and the like the butterfly station with all the sound effects and things like that. So we're certainly open to feedback from the board. As far as fundraising goes, we've been able to do a lot of great fundraising with last year's 5K, of course, Community Day. We were able to raise some nice funds from that. There are a couple of grants that we have in place right now. Certainly if the town, if there are any funds in next year's budget, because it certainly would be a 2025 project. We're all ears on that too, so happy to have any conversations.
Remember the names I give you? People that give town money? You got that list? Call them all again.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Well,
Thank you.
and that's really why we wanted to get here and make it something official, so we can go and say, hey, here's the actual project, here's a picture of what we want to do. And so not only with these private, or like with these corporate sponsors, I think that's going to help massively within the town too, so we can go market on Facebook. Hey, it's not just, hey, give us some money and we'll spend it. It's not, here's exactly what we're going to do and here's the timeline.
Everybody on this board wants that park to keep moving ahead and getting better all the time, believe me.
I think the adaptive portion is a great idea too.
Yeah, it would be amazing. And of course, ideally, depending on where we fall in the next 6 to 8 months, hey, maybe we can just, kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
So your initial location should be with the anticipation of the second line coming in.
Correct.
Them side by side.
Correct, exactly. Yep.
I'll use the word fall in relationship to tumble. I'm going to push that out.
You're going to put a trampoline underneath it.
Absolutely.
Chris, if
You
we
have to
did
jump on the trampoline to reach the zip line.
Nancy's,
both lines,
I might
the
need-
adaptive one as well as the, the regular one, the area behind the swing sets is large enough for both to...
I will go over and measure that.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, I haven't measured that, but it may get a little bit tight.
Okay.
So.
Along the pavilion might be tight too. Unless you do one,
Well, I mean, I would love to see them
Ideally for them
parallel
to
so
go
that
next
way,
to each
kids
other.
can race,
Ideally.
things like that on them. But I think that the space
I think there's room
between
behind there.
I guess the gazebo and the pavilion, I would think that there'd be plenty of space there. Going, if you're looking back.
Actually, that is a
Yeah.
giant field, so.
Yeah, it's a pretty big spot.
Yeah.
And we got a nice camera there too, so we can...
and Nancy,
Perfect, all right, your insurance company likes that.
and Nancy's called our insurance company, they don't have any problem with it.
Great.
to get one across Jones Road, it'd be awesome.
Yes.
Exactly.
maybe get one from the park to Scout Camp.
Now we're talking, we do all.
This big town.
Integrated.
What are we turning into, the Jetsons?
I'd even try that one.
Go fly through
In a
town.
perfect world, if we were able to do them both, it's not a massive cost savings, but there is about a 20% savings on the second zip line, so that adds up.
Ideally, let's look at two.
All right, would somebody like to make a motion? Have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Third.
Thank you.
Opposed, carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Keep up the good work.
Daughter's on the phone.
Appointment to Historical Preservation Board, Chris
Ferris.
Ferris.
Yeah.
Ferris.
I wouldn't have to recuse myself.
Katie Coon recommends
Or
him.
vice versa.
You wanna make a
I'll make a
motion?
motion to appoint Chris Ferris to the Historic Preservation Board.
Have a second?
Put it in the notes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. Truck purchase. Michael, speak about it.
During the email that I sent to the board, the truck that we have an open PO for from 2022, they're telling me that truck's not built yet, there's no VIN number assigned to it, that means it's at least 6 months out before it's built. The new act law that goes in place, the first phase of that is 2025, January 1st. Commercial truck dealers have to sell an electric truck to get 10 slots to sell a diesel power truck. They haven't sold one.
Did you see my question that I emailed back?
No.
Because I was talking with the colonel of the state police, because they were, they have to try to move their fleet to electric, which really doesn't make sense for law enforcement to have an electric vehicle. Like, can you guys slow down? I gotta go charge. Their computers, their lights, everything run off that same battery. He was saying the batteries to go into like these large vehicles are like 5,000 pounds a piece, and they take 2 of them, which now is pushing the truck over maximum weight capacity on a lot of roads. Like how?
There's a video on a electric F-150 with a...
They didn't think it through.
Went through 2 Jersey barriers in a crash test before it slowed down. So
They
it's
weren't
gonna go
thinking it-
through
they weren't thinking it
guardrails
through.
Because of the weight.
Yeah.
It's like
And, well, that's what I'm
semi-truck
saying,
weight.
the amount
If
of
they
time it
catch on
takes.
fire, they're hard to put out.
Let's get something off a lot.
It's just,
So he's telling me
again-
if I have an option to do a turnkey truck to go ahead. I just heard about this last week.
but we have to buy it from Canada.
Who cares?
No, I'm just saying, but that's what's gonna happen. We're gonna have to
Adapt to that,
purchase
right.
things out of country, out of state, because it's crazy.
Talked to Carrie Warner, she said she thought there were some provisions in this because the infrastructure is not on the interstate to
Yeah.
charge these over-the-road trucks yet.
No, they got 7 of them.
She has not gotten back to me with these provisions,
They
and
built-
I haven't seen them.
Well, let me know, I can reach out to
The
her.
board is straight from the dealer with the link to the law. This is across the whole state.
Let's go buy one.
Yeah.
Let's not
Somebody
be-
want to make a motion for Michael?
Absolutely.
Keep his fleet going?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Are we like?
Fee reduction for roof resurfacing for Walmart.
I got tossed out of Walmart, so.
I get it. It's not smart for everything.
So the fee is $58,650.
How much?
$58,650.
That's a lot less than,
55,000.
No.
oh, that's a lot less than the fee
I
on,
remember a few years ago,
we have it.
50% we had done for,
okay.
But that was at
that was
452,000.
$450,000.
You know, during COVID, they let them stay
Done that
open.
before.
The malls had to close. We've been calling them for 4 months. The Veterans Memorial's there, the lights are out. The building department's afraid to go on it because we can't get that bulb anymore, so we gotta replace it. He's afraid to put it in case something happens. Hoffman's Car Wash is willing to maintain that and take care of it. The flags are all ripped. We've been calling there for 4 months. There's somebody call here and nobody calls here, so.
Walmart is responsible for the maintenance of the
Right.
Veterans Park.
Right.
There.
They don't take care of it, never have.
So if they don't take care of that, then.
And right now, they're trying to get us to drop their assessment. That's what happens with these. Myself, I think that's cheap. I don't believe in giving them nothing.
I recommend we take no action.
I'll second that.
Well, that's it.
third.
I'm gonna take no action.
Well, that sounds good.
So the fee structure stands.
No action taken. Thank you.
That's even easier.
Bid acceptance.
This is for the briner that Mike was going to order.
We ordered the truck, but I couldn't order the brine unit because we didn't know what transmission was going in the truck, because we ordered the truck 2 years ago, and the brine system is calibrated with the transmission.
Is the briner going on the truck from Canada?
Did we get the
That
truck?
truck is built, it is in Florida.
Okay.
They are putting it together, I do anticipate that.
We do have a VIN.
We do have a VIN.
I'll fly down to pick it up for you.
So the bid was $34,526.60.
Somebody want to make a motion?
So moved.
Yep,
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. West Lane speed reduction.
Did you ever see
sign
that?
up.
I was waiting to hear back from the state on that. I think the 60s was split, because it originally went across, tracks went in, so I'm waiting for the state DOT to get back to me with what the post is supposed to be. It was not on their inventory record.
What do we
Okay.
want it at? 45? What do we want it at, 45?
She wanted it at 20, but I said we can't do that, so
Do we got any 45 mile an hour signs in the inventory? Or 30?
30.
What is the current
What's the
speed on
speed limit there
55?
now?
That's the question.
What's the speed limit there now?
Just dead.
Nothing. There's an issue with the person who owns the house on the
that's
other side of the
right, sure.
tracks who speeds through there. It's a single person. Suggested the sheriff's department.
If we got a 30 mile an hour sign, let's put it up.
Let's try and help her. Somebody want to make a motion?
Make that motion.
What's the motion for?
To refer this to the county.
Oh,
I was gonna say.
so you don't want mine, you don't want my idea, just throw a 30 mile an hour sign up.
I like your idea.
All right, let's do it.
You want to do it tomorrow yourself?
I will if he gives me a sign.
Mike, you got a sign?
She went to 20.
No, she can't.
I don't think we can go below 30, can we?
You can't go below 25.
Tell her, we have a 30 mile an hour sign, we have a 50 mile an hour sign, let her choose.
Yeah.
I think we'll refer it to the county, let them deny it, and then whatever.
Right. Then,
Eventually the towns will win this.
You want me to read that?
I think we should just send out a letter to all the roads and let them just open them up one at a time and
Committees.
Oh, speaking of road reduction, I just want to thank Mike. I called him for one of those.
Speak about it.
Okay.
This echo is killing me right now on this speaker. I called about the, what's it, "We love our children, please drive safely" signs. I called for one of those over by the school where I work, and they had it up there in no time. And the daycare and the school, and people were very appreciative of just the gentle reminder.
I don't know if you've missed, I don't think you've missed the neighborhood. I know there's one
They're everywhere.
on my street, I see them in, Lake Elizabeth and...
Obviously, nobody loves their kids in my neighborhood.
we don't have very
One
good
in front of your
luck.
house.
We don't have very good luck with these speed reductions. I don't know what their thing is. Maybe we should buy a used police car. Buy a dummy, just park it here and there. Maybe that'll help.
I know a couple guys that have them.
The dummy? The dummy? Yeah, I got one. I know that one.
One of the things I know that works is like if you park in front of your house and you lean out your car window with a hair dryer, they think it's a radar gun.
You ever tried that, Dwayne?
No, but my
With
hair
the
does come out nice. I always have it backwards.
We got a motion on this?
Yes.
Got a second?
he calibrates his car with that
All in
speed limit.
favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried.
I like to see it when it blinks.
Committee reports.
We do have a thank you card for the support. They thank the town board for their, the Wilton Food Pantry, thanking the Wilton Town Board for their support over the last 12 months. They've assisted 1,247 individuals from 490 families. And thank you and others for the donations, and we are currently meeting needs. That was from them.
Let's see, just briefly, I happen to be a supporter and fan of the Open Space Institute, and last week got their annual report. And the Open Space Institute's been around for 50 years. They do conservation and recreation projects in several states, and many of them in New York. And in the first couple of pages of their annual report, they made note of the Graphite Range Community Forest, Saratoga County's first community forest here in Wilton. So,
Very cool.
yeah. So it's,
Are we special?
for anybody who hasn't been up there.
We are now.
Those trails, the forest and everything up there.
That parking lot is busy.
Every day. Every day.
It is.
7 days a week.
Last Sunday morning, I went out there and I got one of the final 2 parking spots at 9 o'clock in the morning on Sunday.
Yeah.
Let's strive for front page next month.
That's next year's the annual report.
All right. I do have a committee committee report. A couple months ago, I spoke about forming a emergency services review committee. We had an unofficial meeting just to kind of decide if we have a direction, if we want to form an official committee or not. We had representatives from the town of Greenfield, which represents half of the town of Wilton for fire protection. I had representatives from the Wilton Emergency Services. I had representatives from the Wilton Fire Department, which those are all the emergency services that covers Wilton. And then I had some administrative personnel retired from professional agencies, career agencies, I won't say professional, sorry, career agencies on the committee. We are going to be forming a formal committee, and we will be meeting the last Monday of every month to discuss the future of emergency services in the town, what services we are providing, what we may need to provide in the future. The town is growing just with the 3 projects that are proposed now. It's going to be an additional approximate 2,500 residents to our town. So the emergency services are starting to become taxed with their abilities to have volunteers and stuff like that. So we're looking at goals and solutions for what we're doing now and for the future. So we will be meeting the last Monday of every month. So then I can give reports on the first Thursdays. Secondly, I would like to propose that we close Wilton Town Hall on Friday, July 5th. It's a very slow day in Town Hall.
I don't have to work?
You don't have to come to your place of employment. I would like to designate this day as, it's not a holiday, but as a family team building for the town employees. We're a very busy town hall, and I think the employees need an extra day to be able to spend with their families and stuff. So I would like to propose that we give our town employees July 5th off.
And we did
Do
speak.
you have any objection to that?
How about you, Mike?
The option is there.
The option is there.
We did speak earlier, when the 4th of July falls on a Tuesday, to give that Monday.
Correct.
When it falls on a Thursday, to give the Friday. The only time you get beat is when it falls on a Wednesday.
We have a second?
Second.
In favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
This is, okay, so
We knew this was gonna be on you, so yeah.
When I spoke with John earlier, I said, Maria will have questions for
Yeah,
her.
well, solutions. So what we can do is, I think it was mentioned that it could be optional, so if somebody did want to come in, they could. For the people that want to be off, we could use the leave code supervisor leave. So department heads will have to be notified, and I'm not here tomorrow, so I will absolutely have that email prepared tonight so that department heads can have it.
Is there really gonna be people that wanna come into work?
There might be.
You?
We do have...
To avoid family time?
We
What?
do have that type people in this building.
Can I get a key?
We do.
I was kidding.
If you knew some of these families.
Right.
So
Maybe that's it, right?
the department heads too, right? So.
This goes across the board to all.
Right, so this would be our park employees who would not be able to take advantage of this because summer camp is in session.
Yeah.
So that's,
They start on July 5th.
We'll give highway department a day off too.
yeah,
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Take it
Oh, wait, you're
off.
off on Fridays.
Take it off.
We wanna work. That's a
so
good
that
one.
brings up.
I guess we didn't think this through.
So if somebody is off, like they had a scheduled vacation, they were charging vacation for, how would this impact them?
I don't think.
They wouldn't have to.
I think we'll have to,
I wouldn't want it to.
I think we'll have to leave that to you to figure out.
And then with the park, I think we could give them a day when
At the end of summer camp.
I agree.
the summer's over.
We'll catch,
I would say they should charge vacation time. And I think
Well, we'll give the day to the park.
the park would get
the
like.
park gets an IOU.
Like a Kelly did at the fire
The
department.
park gets an IOU.
Expire like a floating holiday expires
Correct.
December 31st.
Correct.
I would just do it we know
The day after
that
summer camp
camp's
is over.
I would,
And then everybody else is just,
Go reload and refresh.
wait a minute, when is that holiday on Monday? Is it in September?
Labor Day? Yeah.
So give them that Friday. That would be like a 4-day weekend. If they want to do that.
Or the Tuesday after Labor Day? Yeah.
But
Okay.
I don't think
Anybody else got anything?
they should charge leave accruals.
Yes.
Right?
I wanna-
Not to charge legal pools if vacation has already been.
Correct.
Okay.
I want to mention one other thing, especially since Chris is still here, that, was it last week? We did a field walk of the property on Northern Pines Road where we're going to designate a trail and a fishing station that we've been working with. Mark Daly was there with us, along with the LA Group guys, and Scott. And so we've got a proposed trail that would go through the property, is the one just south of the Veterans Housing on Northern Pines Road, with a designated spot for the fishing station. An application has been prepared, Ryan's reviewed it, I reviewed it, and we're anticipating, needs DEC approval. So it's probably going to be next spring by the time this gets done, but we're on our way.
Thank you.
And mine is about Community Day. That took place last Saturday. It rained out, but the place filled up. It rained and it filled up.
Every time I pick a date, it always rains, so I'm gonna let.
Well, we didn't pick
somebody
a rain
else
date,
Pick
so-
a date from now on.
But, yeah, the amount of people that showed up in support was unbelievable. The staff, the
And
we
community showed
sold out
up.
Brooks Barbecue.
We sold out Brooks Barbecue, thanks to a couple of us.
Did you?
About the last.
The fire department was there. I mean, it was just a great, the kids had a blast. The band was awesome. Nancy, I just can't. She went above and beyond.
She really did.
looked like a drowned rat at the end.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah.
And I don't know if I
Then she went in the ladies' room and fluffed her hair, and she
And
looked
left her phone
really
in there.
nice.
She left her phone in there.
I think
She is a worker.
in recognition of Nancy's effort, she ought to take Friday off.
Sounds good.
Oh, yeah.
And Thursday.
Can you call Nancy and tell her she has Friday off?
call it Nancy Friday.
So the Town of Wilton's 2024 Music in the Park concert series starts tomorrow evening, July 3rd at Gavin Park from 7 to 9 p.m. under the large pavilion. And for the July 3rd program, we have Skippy and the Pistons performing with a fireworks display at 9 p.m.
7 to 9.
Yes, they're performing from 7 to 9 and the fireworks.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Cut his mic.
There will be a food truck with plenty of food choices, sweet treats by Jennifer, and the concession stand near the splash park will be open until 8 p.m. with ice cream and snacks. So the Wednesday night performance schedule for July and August is on the table in the back and on the front page of the town's website. So if you'd like.
Every Wednesday night, there's gonna be a band there.
Was it Wednesday?
Through July and August,
Wednesday.
yep.
Wednesday, okay.
And bring a lawn chair and a blanket if you'd like.
Thank you. Everybody done?
Thank you, Sue.
You're welcome.
I'll be there on the,
We put new cameras in at Gavin Park, and I talked to Hudson Champagne. They put in the electric line through the railroad, and they paid for the digging and the conduit. It was probably 10 grand, so we should send them a thank you note. And our controller is leaving for Canada tomorrow to go on a...
Get a truck?
you're bringing the truck back?
Hey, never thought of that.
I'm going to
That's
Florida to
right.
pick up the other truck, you're going to
See if it's ready.
That's what we're going to do Friday. All settled, Mike.
So I just hope and her and her husband Joe have a great time and they'll get well rested because she deserves it. And I
Hopefully
make
they'll
a
let you back in the
motion to
country.
give her a Kelly day. She won't be here Friday.
Yes.
Controllers
I can see
report.
Joe getting stopped at the border.
Oh, yeah.
I hope not.
I feel sorry for them. Marie, you wanna?
Yes, thank you. So the first category is our 2024 budget amendments. Item 1 is using interest earnings to pay for that fee for professional services for the feasibility analysis for the water and sewer project. It was a very good suggestion, alternatively, to use ARPA. A figure. We'll find out where we stand with the contract that we're supposed to have by the end of the year for the other side. And we can always kind of play that off too. The second item is also leveraging interest earnings, which, just a side note, we're doing very well with the interest earnings. We're maximizing what we can while keeping the money safe. So we're doing what we're supposed to do there. We are poised to reach about $400,000 for the year that remains.
Oh, that's nice.
Keeping an eye on the Federal Reserve Bank, and there doesn't seem to be any major push to go downward in any near term, but, that is on the long-range horizon, so I always am very cautious when I set up the budget for next year. It will be, again, at a lower amount, but that's why we're able to do these things and fund additional projects using interest, because I budgeted at lower amount and we use it as we earn it. So anyway, the second item is for using interest earnings to fund the town court building windows that we're installing. So we have proposals for $21,269.15 from Paradise to purchase and install the bulletproof windows.
Security,
at the town
okay.
court building.
Inside, obviously?
Inside,
Yeah,
yes.
they're recommended under evaluation of DCJS.
Right.
Yeah. Does anybody have a copy of that, DCJS?
Audit, I don't.
Okay.
It was verbal to me.
The court system, the New York State court system, gonna give us any money towards that?
So there is a grant that we used to apply for every year, and we could look at that.
Good.
So we are transferring in item number 2, that money is coming out of the general fund to the capital projects fund for the town court building, and then item 3 is the capital projects fund accepting that money from the general fund for the same purchase. Everything will be recorded in the capital projects fund, so at the end of the day, we have the total that we've spent on that building from day 1's renovation through forever. Item 4 is we are using money for the sale of equipment that we recently had for a bucket truck and another piece of equipment in the highway fund. And we're using that to purchase the direct application system, or to, I should say, fund the increase in the cost of the direct application system, which is the binding system, which we budgeted for originally in November of 2023 when we set up the 2024 budget. But the price went up based on the bid by this amount of money, $7,760.60. So to fund that increase, I'm using the sale of equipment money. The fifth item is using interest earnings to help to offset the cost of the additional, I should say, the additional cost of that truck that we were just talking about earlier. So the amount that we budgeted for 2 years ago is $24,363 less than the turnkey solution that we have available to us now. So I'm going to take interest earnings from the general fund, transfer it to the highway fund to offset the cost, the increased cost of that truck.
I'll make a motion to approve 1 through 6.
What's the second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed, carried.
Thank you. And the last item is the fee waiver request from a resident who had submitted a payment for a fence permit in April and paid it, $50. He has since changed his mind, is not going to pursue the project, and since he requested the refund, requested to.
I'll make a motion to give it back.
Second?
Second.
Now, one other thing. Do we know what the dump truck went for? That Gavin?
21 something, wasn't it?
Oh, the Gavin Park, yes, 915, yeah.
And I just wanted to ask a quick question about the truck purchase. Mike had asked in the email to not reduce his inventory. So does that include that, where he buys one and gets rid of one? He was asking to
Maintain the one, yeah.
maintain the one he has.
Because I was gonna go with a 25 budget for a new truck, but
Right.
this is going on, I waited 2 years already.
Yeah, whatever.
I just wanted to make sure
We
that,
don't know the length of time it's
Mike,
going to be.
it's so much
purchase the next
easier.
truck.
It's so much easier now, so.
Plus you picked up that big development, you're going to probably need an additional equipment. right?
The approval is not dependent on a trade-in.
Correct.
okay, thank you.
Thank you, thanks, sir.
Yeah.
We wish everybody happy 4th of July. Anybody, anything else?
You made it.
I will make motion to adjourn.
Second?
I think it's voting.
Favor? Carried.
They're not in there.
Yeah.
They're not.